So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our video of planets in Ascendant. Okay? As we did our first two parts of Ascendant Lord through houses, the video that you can go and watch, then we did Lords of other houses in the Ascendant. So now what I want you to do is look at your chart. If you know your chart, look at somebody else's chart that you know. Now what you're going to do, you have to know which planet is controlling which houses in your birth chart. And the thing is, the second part, which is Lord of those houses in the Ascendant, will make much more concrete sense when we see the planet sitting in the Ascendant. For example, for an Aries Ascendant, if Sun is in the Ascendant, Sun is the fifth Lord with the sign of Leo. So it's now fifth, the Lord is going into the Ascendant as Sun. So in the second part of this video series, you can see what fifth Lord in the Ascendant does that I explained. But when it's Sun, now you'll be able to correlate and relate what the Sun is going to do in the Ascendant, because of that fifth house Lord energy going in the Ascendant. For example, as in a Taurus Ascendant, you have Saturn in the Ascendant. Okay, we're just looking at the Ascendant. So Saturn rules the 9th house with Capricorn and the 10th house with Aquarius. So Lord of those two houses sitting in the Ascendant. So that means you're going to be able to see 10th Lord in the Ascendant and 9th Lord in the Ascendant, and now correlate that with shunning being in the Ascendant, what and how it's going to kind of reveal itself in the Ascendant. So this is that part of the series. And of course, I started this series because I got a new camera and I just want to play around with the camera. I'm like a child. I want to go to different settings, different backgrounds and themes, and I want to keep testing this. You know why? Because I'm going to give you Saturn movie next year. I had to wait till Saturn entered Pisces. Saturn would not let me do it in Aquarius, and I know why, because of my chart. So when it moves into Pisces next year, around, March or April, that's when it's going to start the ability for me to give you Saturn movie. Oh my goodness, it's going to be it's such a beautiful story with the Saturn thing. I cannot wait to shoot it. So anyway, let's start with the Ascendant video. And if you want to know what planet is in your Ascendant, right? If it's Sun, Moon, Rahu, Ketu, Venus, Mercury, for that you can go to Astrology.com, and under shop section on option 6, you'll see a PDF report that in the PDF report you will see everything, which planet is in which house. Okay. So, and remember, I've always said, don't trust apps so much because they're not coded right, and it's specifically the DST time is not calculated properly. So if you're not doing the DST time properly, it's going to give you wrong alignments. That's why I only use a desktop software, laptop software. I don't use apps ever. If somebody's asking me a question, I never use an app. I don't have any apps on my phone. So anyway, let's start with this video. So Sun is in the Ascendant, right? And regardless of the sign, you can have a debilitated Sun in the Ascendant. Sun is becoming powerful. Why? Because the king is on his throne. The king is not in his kingdom. He's not in the palace, which is the sign of Leo. The 5th house. See, focus on the 5th house, not the sign. Now the king has left its kingdom and gone straight into sitting on the throne. So what happens with Sun in the Ascendant? This is a commanding position. A person is naturally connected to giving orders. You will see, if let's say somebody who is a housekeeper, they come and clean your home, they do your dishes, they have Sun in the Ascendant, you will see such a person is biting their tongue and biting their mouth for doing the job they're doing, because they don't want to do that. It's the circumstances of life that is making them do that. And you will see when they conversate, they will conversate in a way like they are trying to give you the order. Like, oh, you want them to clean that? I say, no, I don't want to clean this right now. First I want to do this, because once I do this, then this is going to happen. So let me clean that later on. Yeah? Okay. And you'll be like, and you'll be agreeable to them. Why? Because it's Surya, sun in front of you, because ascendant is the physical self. So Surya has come in front of you. A king is saying, I know the circumstances are here for me to clean your home, so I'm going to do it. But guess what? I'm a king. I am going to have to um, I'm going to have to do it in a commanding way. I'm going to have to do it in a commanding manner when I clean anything in your home. Sun in the ascendant naturally will show. It brings recognition when the activities of the house lord becomes active. So depending on your ascendant, which I have already given the second video of this video, like third lord in the ascendant, seventh lord in the ascendant, ninth lord in the ascendant, it'll start giving you the power and recognition that you need. And usually you will also see with sun in the ascendant, a person will have to move and shift many times in their life, and they actually like it. Now think about it. Why is that? Right? Why is that? It's one of those 90 techniques. Because a king will go from one place to the other trying to conquer. That's how the kingdom increases. They go and either they peacefully negotiate to attain that land, or they will attain that land through bloodshed. That's the king, because king is in the placement of Mars. This is why Mars, the general, is always next to the king at war. At the very last, first is the front line, then the middle line, then the very end is the king and the general who are coming to fight in case they have to fight. So this is why it becomes commanding, and especially naturally, no matter what, the anger and ferociousness is there, but it can only come out when it triggers this sun to not get what it wants. That's when things will happen. You will see also with these people, such an individual, whenever they want to get anything done through the government, with the government, they're easily able to do those particular things. You want to get some license related to your business, and going to the government office, you will actually get respect there. Now, the fourth part, which I may not make because then it becomes complicated, you have to see how this sun is behaving through the neighboring planets. What impact of the planet will be there? That can either reduce the sun's power and light or increase sun's power and light. So that is important, because you will see somebody will say, I have the sun and I'm doing this and this, completely opposite. Well, of course, because this is where the painting of Jyotish astrology comes into play. That yes, you have sun in the ascendant, but oh, look at this planet impacting that. They're controlling this. But then what happens is the frustration becomes very important and evident. You can feel the frustration on this person's face. Sun in the ascendant will also, especially in male chart, will give a receding hairline. Why? Because the Agni of sun is on the head. It's burning. Like specifically, if Sun, Mars, Rahu are in the ascendant, person starts losing their hair very early. Because the nutrition is being burned that is going from the body, the blood, to the hair, to the ascendant. And usually also you will see Sun in the ascendant. Such people will have little bit of a warmer temperature compared to other normal people. So if it's 98.6, you'll be 99. The degree will increase. Literally with Mars and Sun both, but Sun especially. But because Sun is in the ascendant, the vitality of this individual will be very strong. Like whatever health issue they deal with, they are able to overcome that, because Sun is the planet of healing, health, medicines. Besides like government, political science, main thing is Sun is health, because without Sun, nothing can survive. So here, Sun always will find its strong position. Now, it may have to struggle when it has certain other planets conflicting its energy. But one way or the other, it's the king. King is gonna find its way. Now, next one, moon in the ascendant. So when moon goes into the ascendant, first of all, you are extremely talented. Even if you're a lawyer, plumber, there's creativity in you. There's artistry in you. Whether it's connected with painting, singing, music, art, sewing, some form of hobby. Like somebody who's a lawyer, but then on the weekend, they're in their garage working on, they love making surfboards. That's their thing. Or they love, making wooden tables and furniture. Because moon is sola kalais, 16 forms of art. Moon is all knowing. So with moon being the all knowing, you will see such people have very strong intuition about things. It may not be about everything, but for something they will have a strong intuition about. And this is where you can see the Lord. Let's say you're in Aries ascendant, fourth Lord moon is in the ascendant. You have intuition about mother, home, comfort, vehicles. Like intuitively, when you go see a property, I'm not feeling this property. I feel cold, I feel congested in this property, and then later you find out that, oh, there's a murder that occurred in this property. And it's a beautiful property with a beautiful view, but you just didn't want it. You felt that even as like somebody who's an atheist. Moon in the ascendant, of course, mother is going to be the one in charge and angry. Mother has strong way of being this general who will exert their power upon you. And then moon in the ascendant, you will see even when this person has not done anything wrong, somehow the world wants to blame this person. They want to put something upon them. Like, oh, it's because of you this happened. See, you did this and this happened. Oh, you were here, that's why this happened. Even though it wasn't their fault. Even though they didn't even in that particular area to do anything, yet they get blamed. But also you will see with moon in the ascendant, one naturally has a very pleasing, very beautiful face, very pleasing individual to interact with. And especially when moon is in the ascendant and you see the Lord of other house as moon sitting in the ascendant, that particular house will trigger your travels. The person loves movement. They love change. They want to travel. So for example, if this person is stagnant in a job where you haven't even gone on vacation, you haven't traveled anywhere, everything becomes sluggish, including your health. You will see these people, if they don't travel, they're not going to feel that zeal in life. That sheen of life disintegrates. So you must find a way to time travel. And especially you will see when you don't feel good in life, you're depressed, when you especially travel to eat food, something will trigger inside you that'll be like, wow, I feel good, this is great. What do I mean by this? I'm not saying that from your home you go to your nearest Starbucks or you go to your nearest McDonald's and Pizza Hut. No, you find a place somewhere far, 100 miles or more, some restaurant that is very much known for some food. Go travel there. When you travel there and eat, you know what it does? It'll give you many creative ideas for your own life. Your mother would have had some kind of a great communicative talent or artistic talent. But especially, like I said, things get triggered as we're looking at lords of other houses in the ascendant. This is why it's so important to see that second part of the video and then correlate with this moon. For example, 7th Lord is in the ascendant as moon. The moment you get married, this moon gets triggered. And even before, if your sexual lust was not so active, marriage activates that. Like you want to be with that person in a physical manner, romantic manner, intimate manner. Because moon is lust. Now, of course, there's many other negative trends and things we can say, which I refrain from saying on YouTube, because then you are putting a certain stigma on people. So I won't say that. That is only something I show in private, like especially my course of Nandi Nadi. In my Nadi course, I show those things. Because you don't want to just impact, because there's other things you're seeing. Now, let's say you have Mercury in the ascendant, right? So the prince is sitting on the throne of the king. So first thing you will see here, okay, this is a person, even when they don't want a powerful position, they get it. It's somehow destined to come to them. Now, if they're rejected, that's another thing. Like your company came and said, listen, we want you to go here and we want you to open up this office for us and we will make you a director in this office. Meaning you're just going from a regular employee to a high ranking director. But because of the fact you don't feel like it, you feel like I don't want to go to this place. Yeah, sure, you may reject it, but that opportunity comes in. Moon in the ascendant, or I'm sorry, Mercury in the ascendant also shows certain form of skin issue will happen. Usually in the teenage years, these people will get the most pimples and zits. And when they speak, this particular person, especially their speech pattern will change when that lord of that Mercury's house becomes activated, because Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. So you want to see where Gemini and Virgo is placed from your ascendant, and those things will always trigger this Mercury's strong, straightforward, direct speech pattern. Whenever you deal with those two particular houses of Gemini and Virgo, this Mercury's like straightforward, direct, like this is it, this is what I need, this is what I want. For example, Mercury rules the 5th house, meaning you're a Taurus ascendant. 5th, the Lord of Mercury is in the ascendant. You're going to be very commanding with your children. You're going to, no, just do this. I want this done. You need to finish your homework. Do that. Do this. And you know what's going to happen if you do this? I'll give you something. Why? Because it's in Taurus. It'll reward the child with something material. So this is how you want to understand these things. See, it's not just all about feeding. Sometimes when I give this video, anybody else is giving this video, try to contemplate on that. Because the contemplation will then start giving you those instant predictions and instant results. So if somebody says, oh, my 8th Lord is in the ascendant Mercury, you'll be like, okay, this and this and this and this and this. Why? Because you contemplated on this. When you contemplated on this, you remember that. If somebody just spoon feeds you, then it's there, but it doesn't come out so easily. You'll be like, oh yeah, I remember hearing this. But when you contemplate, when you actually make your own determination, that's when things happen. Mercury in the ascendant, naturally person is born with a business sense. They somehow always wanting to make deals. But who are they going to make deals with? With the house lords, Gemini and Virgo. For example, you want to know, like Virgo ascendant. Mercury's in the ascendant in Virgo. First of all, this person will always make a deal with themselves. You know, if you do these 15,000 mantras, you should go here after that and enjoy this. All right, yeah. I'm gonna do 15,000 mantras of Shiva, and when they're complete, that's when I'm gonna go here. So what they're doing, they're negotiating with themselves internally. Because Mercury is in its own sign. Or let's say for Virgo ascendant, 10th Lord in the ascendant with Mercury, they're going to negotiate with their work. Even if it's not, they're not negotiating with the work itself, they'll be like, okay, I have this work, and only if I complete this, that's when I'm going to go and enjoy myself. So Mercury is always negotiating and trying to make deals, because Mercury is a trader. Mercury wants to do business. The Surya, the king, will send Mercury to make deals with other kingdoms, other kings, other people in their kingdom. And very quick sense to understand things. Like this person can be a very good logician. Somebody who's just very good at making logical sense of things. Like this person will not just believe in astrology, oh, because this Kapiel Raaj is saying this. Oh yeah, that is true. Like, What does this mean? Show me. Show me 10 charts where this is working. Now I'll believe you. So this person, even if they're in spirituality, they need some form of logic to get that spiritual focus going, and that'll become active where? How? The lord of those Mercury signs, whichever house lord is ruling, that has to become active. The other thing you will also see that I'm adding right now is that Mercury in the Ascendant brings identity crisis. Someone, who am I? Am I this? Am I that? One will have issues either connected with their identity, their name. You will even see people have identity with their divinity. They're like, I'm born in this particular family with this religious background, but I'm not feeling that. Maybe I should convert to this. So there's always some form of a conversion that happens when Mercury is in the Ascendant. So this is a very important thing, is that knowing thyself becomes a challenge, but that challenge can only be rectified through Guru, through Jupiter, and especially Venus. Venus and Jupiter are the one that will help Mercury in helping itself navigate through its identity crisis. Next becomes Venus, Shukracharya in the Ascendant. Venus in the Ascendant, regardless of the sign, wife is going to be commanding. Wife is going to be the driving force of a person's life, especially in a man's chart. Venus, and especially you will see, this is how you can make a combination. Whichever sign Venus is in, let's say Venus is in Gemini. Venus will naturally rule the 12th and 5th house. But, you know the combination that Venus is making here? Is Venus, Mercury, Mars. Always remember, those three are influencing this Venus by itself, whether they aspect Venus or not, or conjunct Venus or not. You will see with Venus in the Ascendant, the more this person dresses well. Okay? Now, they may not dress well because of the influence of other planets, but if this Venus is good, you will see. Even if they go out and get a coffee, they have to dress up. They have to wear nice, neat, and clean clothes. And that's where they're going to go out and do something. They want to be the most presentable person out there. They want to be the most eloquent and elegant person out there. Moon will actually do the same thing. But see, that's the quality of Venus. Because remember, what is Venus? Venus, besides his marriage and relationship, is negotiations. So this person has the ability to negotiate, but they can come out very strong when it comes to negotiations. But Venus is also money. So activation of money, you know how it happens? The more presentable you are. You can look like me in shorts and t-shirt. Okay. When you go out, you have to dress like you're going to some dinner, some fancy restaurant dinner. Always, if your clothes are neat and clean, placed in the closet, hung in the closet, this Venus strengthens itself. Naturally, the moment this person gets married, money becomes active. Money becomes active from marriage. On the other hand, this is the type of person whose life decisions, they naturally, sometimes willfully, will give life decision to the spouse to make those decisions. You will see other placement too. It doesn't have to be Venus in the Ascendant. When Atma Karka and Venus are together, Ascendant Lord and Venus are together, you'll do the same thing. But also with Venus here, these people are very much also focused on wanting to building their body, sculpting their body. And remember, the more sculpted their body is, the better they look, the more fancy they look, the better the life around them becomes beautiful. But when is it gets triggered? The reality of it truly gets triggered from the sign that Venus is ruling, Taurus and Libra, especially the sign of Libra. But of course, I cannot go through all the houses and show you what third Lord Libra will do in the Ascendant, fourth Lord, because then it's just going to be too long of a video. Venus in the Ascendant, this is the individual who can revive things. Like if, let's say, your company is going down, company is losing business, you still need to hire somebody to make your company better. Or you need to hire somebody just to take care of certain things till this company survives. If you hire an individual with Venus in the Ascendant, they have natural capacity to revive that company and make it successful. And usually Venus in the Ascendant are natural healers. They may not be in the profession of healing, and they may not even know this potential of them, that they're natural healers. They're healers. Like also you will see at one point, let's say Venus, Mars are in the Ascendant. They will run into a situation in their life where they're going to help somebody that they don't even know. Whether it's some car flipped over on the side of the road, somebody they saw in front of them get injured. They'll be the ones somehow putting the other person in a situation that revives their life. And that person will thank them. Thank you, because of you I found, like for example, just a couple of months ago, an Indian hiker in California mountains was lost and this couple found him. You see, probably one of those couple could have this Venus in the Ascendant, Venus conjunct the Atmakarka, Venus conjunct Mars, Venus conjunct the Ascendant Lord. They found a situation in their life where they were able to revive this individual. And especially when Venus, goes into the Ascendant. Tremendous desire. Okay? There's going to be tremendous desire in this person's life for anything and everything. Like you will see when you talk to a person with Venus in the Ascendant, and if you even have a conversation for 30 minutes, you will see that they're infectious about life. They're about experiencing all kinds of things in life. This person could be a software engineer, but they love going hiking. They want to go and do a wild water rafting. There's this sense of adventure that comes in. Now, of course, there's going to be many negative trends here with Venus as well. Sometimes addictive trends. But you cannot get into that just by Venus in the Ascendant. There has to be a combination of another planet to see those negative trends. And of course, it's saying that here, you can make yourself look like a hero, but then you can also impact many people who will be like, why are you saying this? Oh, I saw this video on YouTube and this person said Venus in the Ascendant and this combination will do this. Yeah, you're this. It happens. Yeah, we as astrologers have to be very careful to not look like heroes for views and like and subs. You're dealing with a very, very finite aspect of a cult. A cult doesn't care how many subscribers you have and how many likes you have. It's judging you. So these are the things, like I said, has to be discussed in private. Because obviously Venus birth star is Jyeshta and of course Pushya as well. So things have to be discussed connected with Venus, especially in private. Always remember that. When you discuss anything connected with Venus, and especially when you go into a detail aspect of Venus, you want to always connect with an individual on a private setting, not in a public setting. Even if you're describing their position. Okay, but one thing you will see, because Venus is in the king's court, right? Because this is where the king is sitting on the throne. When Venus is in king's court, the person feels helpless in terms of getting what they want through their significant other. Because it's only when the significant other says, you get this, then you get this. So, moving on from Venus, we go on to Mars. So then we see Mars in the ascendant. It's Mars, it's Mangal in the ascendant. So I don't even care if Mars is debilitated in your chart, becomes the lord of 5th and 10th house. This person is strong. They have strong will, strong ability to command. They will not back down from any fight. They will not back down from any opposition, because this is the domain of Mars. So no matter how bad the body becomes of this person, and yeah, such people will always deal with some form of injury, cuts, bruises, but they love it. You know, those people, like especially like skateboarders, get injured literally every other week. Some bone is broken, but they don't quit. They love it. They want more. It's like there's this tolerance of pain in the ascendant with Mars, and the joy from pain. Right? Just like we look for pleasure in life with Moon and Shukra, we're looking for pleasure from every single planet. And Mars says, when you deal with pain, when you deal with animosity, when you deal with rivalries, when you deal with enemies and you have to fight, you will always feel alive. Because why? Ascendant is the point of you being alive. Without the ascendant, you're not alive. If ascendant is not there, you're not alive. This is why a fighter with Mars in the ascendant, whether it's a UFC fighter, any form of combat fighting, no matter how badly they're injured, it's like it awakens them. Makes them feel like I'm on top of the world, even if they lose the fight. They're like, wow, this made me feel good. I love the fact my ear is bruised, my nose is broken. Oh man, I can't wait to recover so I can get back into the ring. And the fighting spirit of Mars, see, throughout life, our outlook on life changes. First, you could be bullied. You know those kids who are skinny and small and short and being bullied. Then at one point in life, they're now 6'4", 280 pounds. And now the same people who are bullying them, they actually respect this person. They're like, yeah, sorry, can I be your friend? There's this different point of life where certain progression of other planets, especially Shani, will bring about a change in Mars in the ascendant. So if, let's say, you feel completely opposite, there is going to be a point where the triggering will happen. And also, how does that trigger happens? That trigger will happen when you see the lords of the Mars sign, because Mars becomes the lord of Scorpio and Aries. When they're in the ascendant, now you can see what will trigger this Mars strength in your life. Okay, so what will trigger the Mars ascendant, and especially with Mars in the ascendant, many a times you will see if the combinations is right. If this person has even spiritual yoga, this person becomes a brahmachari. They're not in there. They're not there to wanting to be in one relationship after the other. They don't want to be, being even in a unionship of family confine. They actually want to escape that sometimes. Many a times, Mars in the ascendant, because here a person is now focused on one's own stamina and strength. And because Mars is a protector, they first protect themselves in body. And this is where the consciousness of Mars makes it hard for this person to now give and divide that aspect of themselves for something else. Unless their own thing has been fulfilled, now they'll do everything for someone else. This is why the brahmachari is there. They're like, I don't want to deal with that particular responsibility of family life and this and that, because then I won't be able to focus on myself and my spiritual path. So this is a strong connection of brahmachari, especially if, let's say, you have Ketu, Saturn, Mars in the ascendant. Most definitely you're probably a brahmachari, or on your way to becoming a brahmachari. But Mars is strength here. The hurt, the pain strengthens you. So please remember that. Pain, okay? Pain and suffering strengthens you, especially physical pain. Like if, this Mars becomes the is in the ascendant for Gemini, becomes the 6th and 11th lord, you will see a breakup from a relationship will have this person get a tattoo. Like when they go and they suffered in a relationship and they came out of it, they're like, oh, I need a tattoo so I can remind myself of the strength that I have. So the sign itself simply just becomes the ambience. It's not really doing anything good or bad. Mars is not good or bad in Capricorn or Cancer. You can see many Capricorn Mars. I mean, it's the you can see Mars is completely trashed. So that's not how Mars is strength is ever seen. It's the house that really will determine the strength of a planet. Remember, house. And because Mars is in the ascendant, you will see through the, if you have a younger brother, the moment younger brother came in, okay, your own Mars started to become active. You know why? Because then you're like, okay, I have to protect my younger brother. You as an older sister, you got into fights with people for your younger brother with this Mars. You don't care if you're a female or male. You were there protecting them because that is part of your biggest karma. Many planet in the ascendant bring about the biggest karma in life, which is now connected with, in your case, Mangal, Mars. And the other thing, Mars in the ascendant, transformation will happen. Change is going to happen. And it happens with pain. But the thing is that first pain, which you thought it was pain, you're actually later on wanting more of that. Like, man, this thing really changed me. I can't wait to go through another painful transformation so I can become even stronger. That's the outlook of these Mars in the ascendant. Then, of course, you have Shani in the ascendant. So now you have Shani in the ascendant, Saturn in the ascendant. So here you have a servant who's on the place of the king. It's like the servant went and saw the throne and tried sitting on it. What happens? This person is always going to be fearful. Why are they going to be fearful? They're always going to be fearful of getting caught. And they always feel like, am I doing this right? Is this correct? There's tremendous amount of question in a person's life when Saturn is in the ascendant. Any responsibility that is given to them, and they get it, because that is your karma. See, planet in the ascendant are the most important of your life. They're the anchor point of your life. So this person is built and made and born for responsibility, duty, commitment, and sacrifice. But in that particular way, they feel that fear that I shouldn't be sitting here. I shouldn't be on the throne. Maybe I don't deserve this. So there's a lot of question in a person's own self-confidence when Saturn is in the ascendant. I don't care if it's in Libra. Doesn't matter. You have Ucha Shani, exalted Saturn. It ain't doing nothing. It's because this Saturn needs support. In the chart, they're going to need support if they need to come out and embrace who they are. And even in real life, they're going to need support. This is the person, even if they become a leader, for example, whether it's politics, whether it's a business, they're not those people who work by themselves. They feel like I need support around me to do this because I don't know. What is the king doing? I'm just a servant. I don't know. I haven't come from this bloodline of regal and royalty. I don't know what natural instincts I need to have to make these things happen. So you know what? Even though I'm on the throne now, I need support so they can tell me exactly what the king does. And the lord of the houses that Saturn is ruling, those are the houses that you become that fearful about. Everything that I just explained about Shani, those houses activate that and you're worried about those particular houses. And also you will see such a person becomes very slow, very lazy, lethargic. For them to make a decision, like if you ask them, hey, let's start a business. Like, yeah, let's start a business. Let me see, I got this and this going. And then, once I finish this, yeah, we can probably sit down and talk about it. And it's been now 6 months since they said this. And somebody else thought of the same business. They started a business, and now they are way, way ahead of them. And they're still pondering and thinking, yeah, maybe I should. But one of the biggest things you will see with Saturn in the Ascendant, a person is natural in media. They're natural in media and winning the hearts of people. Whenever Shani impacts the Ascendant, especially in Nadi, because Shani will impact the Ascendant if you know the Nadi concept. It doesn't have to be in the first house. A person is a natural in media and through the mediums of media. Now, one thing, like I said, this person needs support. But if Saturn is strong in the Ascendant, through the support of other planets, they feel really broken down when they have to take support of other people. Because remember, Saturn is handicapped, right? So Saturn is the one with the walking stick. Now imagine somebody hands you a walking stick. The day, let's say, I have to use a stick, I'm like, that's it. It's over. And I'll do whatever I can, do yoga, do this, go to the gym, so I don't have to have that particular support. So Shani doesn't feel good about that support. It represents it, but doesn't want to feel good about it. This is why a strong Saturn will feel very useless and humbled when other people have to support this particular Saturn. But that is the good Shani, who realizes that this is not right. I need to be more conscious about what I'm doing. I need to have more responsibility. I should be vital. That's what Shani will do in the Ascendant. And also, if you have a younger or older brother, they're going to become like this father figure or this person who has this complete control over the decisions that you have made. Even if, let's say, you have the biggest, your elder brother is your biggest enemy, you would do things based on that. My elder brother said I should not go and I cannot go and become an IAS officer in the government. Well, that particular statement made you work so hard, like, look, I became an IAS officer. Not because you wanted it. Their influence in your life kind of controlled that aspect of your life and molded it to where you wanted to do it. So the whole influence is there. Your life starts when you hire somebody to work under you. Like a servant, when you hire somebody to come and clean your home and you take care of them, you treat them like family, you will see whatever health issue you deal with starts improving. Career starts improving. But you will, one part of Shani in the Ascendant you will see. Such a person may have a hard time filling their gas all the way. The petrol in your car, if you don't fill it all the way all the time, and you always fill it halfway, then that Shani is working bad in your case. But the moment you start always keeping your gas full, Shani becomes active in a positive way. And I made a YouTube short on that as well. Now, as far as lords are concerned, last but not least, we're going to do Jupiter, Guru. So when Jupiter, the Guru, is in the Lagna, life is blessed on most aspects of this person's life. Jupiter here heals your 1,000 wounds. Jupiter here will heal your 1,000 obstacles. But I guess if you're smart, you will understand one thing. What did I say? 1,000 obstacles. What does that mean? 1,000 obstacles have to be there in order for you to overcome them. So don't think Jupiter in the Ascendant, life is easy and everything is happening in my life. No, it brings in 1,000 obstacles and it helps you overcome them. And what is that? Why is it doing that? Have you ever thought about it? Why is this sloka there? Especially this is in Lagu Parashri. Jupiter in the Ascendant will be helping a person overcome 1,000 obstacles. Because each obstacles you go through is like a obstacle course. You go through such tremendous obstacles that at the end you have such wisdom about all aspects of life that you are qualified to be a guru, qualified to be a teacher, a counselor, a manager, a mentor. You will see with Jupiter, this is a position of a general in the army. And Jupiter gives you the knowledge of the three universes. Because remember, Jupiter is ethereal, space element, and we do not know space. So when something is being done wrong in life, we think, oh my God, this is bad, this is horrible. How did this happen to this person? How did that happen to this person? We're thinking from our human mind, our human consciousness. We're not thinking from the concept and mind of the Devatas. And Jupiter is the guru of the Devatas. And so what happens in space, we have only 1% glimpse, maybe not even that, of what is space. So this Jupiter, when it does things, it is doing from a complete divine unraveling of the process. It's the divine will that makes this person do things. And even they can understand why they're doing it. And this Jupiter, I mean, don't think Jupiter is all positive. Jupiter is actually one of the most malefic planets out there. I don't know if you ever heard the story of Jupiter and his brother. Read that story. Okay, but here Jupiter, you will see, you're destined to find a mentor and a teacher who will put you to such grind in your life that they will make you the master of your craft and profession. So if, let's say, you are a software engineer, you will end up being with a mentor who knows the biggest hacking schemes that makes you the best white hacker, black hacker, doesn't matter. It makes you the best at what you do. A coding issue that Google's having a hard time resolving and none of their employees can resolve, you come in and you take care of that. That's the intelligence Guru has given. Now, of course, Guru in the Ascendant will give, you will see, a broad body. Okay. They will either have a very broad and wide body, or naturally a person will be having a lot of weight, especially if Jupiter is in air or water signs. At one point, they will gain weight. And no matter how much you do, you can do plastic surgery, you can do all the things and make yourself look skinny. And you know what's going to happen? Guru will bring you back to its original self. You'll be like, wait a second, I just did all this. And I'm again getting weight. Yeah, because that's your constitution. You should not be afraid of gaining weight with Jupiter. When Jupiter start giving you weight gain in the Ascendant, especially in this area, abdominal area, just know it's now starting to increase some form of prosperity in your life. And this is why most of the time ignorance is not bliss, because if you're ignorant, you'll be like, I need to lose weight. My belly is increasing. Oh, no, I need to hit the gym. It's like you're going against the constitution of Jupiter. It's like, I'm trying to give you an indication here. I'm about to bring you some, and it's that natural increase of the belly. Not like if you eat McDonald's 3 times a day and now you get a belly. Oh, I have Jupiter in the Ascendant, I'll bring me prosperity. No, it's when you're eating healthy, you have the most healthiest lifestyle, yet still you're increasing your belly. That's when Jupiter is being active. And so it's always said that with this Jupiter, you should always have something in the abdominal. If it's a little bit protruded, Jupiter is blessing you. And you will see, because whichever the lord of the house is controlled by Jupiter, which will be Sagittarius and Pisces on your Ascendant, your intelligence rises through activating those particular houses, definitely. Like, for example, for Aries Ascendant, 9th lord would be in the Ascendant, right? So I already made the video on that. But you will see, the moment this person goes to a house of a guru and meets a guru, or goes on a pilgrimage and comes back, suddenly everything becomes active in their life. They start to understand and comprehend things. They're having trouble in their education. Let's say they're in 10th or 11th grade. You take them on some pilgrimage. Take them to, like, let's say Kamakya, Tirupati Balaji. When they come back, somehow Jupiter is not awakening their intelligence. Awakening those senses of the space senses of this Jupiter. That's how simple it is. And you will see, the biggest happiness this person gets in life is knowledge, education, and serving the mother. Jupiter in the Ascendant will serve the mother. Even if the mother is bad, they will serve the mother. Unless, of course, the mother's passed away, then of course you can't do anything. But even if the mother's bad, you will be like, I have to do this. This is my dharma. Let the god decide what they want to do. That's this Jupiter. But one thing we do see with this Jupiter, they always ignore the marriage. They can't pay attention to the marriage. They can't pay attention to the needs of the spouse. Because their needs are with the world. Because wherever Jupiter sits, that house no longer belongs to you. And neither you can reap the benefits of those particular houses where Jupiter's drishti is there. Because those are made for other people. Meaning in the 5th house, you will do everything for your children. Whether they give something back or not, you'll do everything for them. But here with Jupiter in the Ascendant, like I said, they can't pay attention to the spouse. They'll pay attention to the rest of the world, but not the spouse. And doesn't matter if a planet is retrograded or not. In this, it'll do that. Okay. So now, last but not least, we got Rahu and Ketu. But I feel like Lord through houses part, mainly this would be it. Let me think about it. If I want to talk about Rahu and Ketu, if it makes sense in this particular section of the video. Now, let's just say we do talk about Rahu and Ketu in the Ascendant. You know what the first thing I will say, the easiest thing? Most of the time, especially Rahu in the Ascendant, the chart can be locked. Nobody will be able to make a prediction on this person's chart so easily. They'll make predictions, but the thing is, Rahu is so powerful that when you think Rahu is going to give bad results in the Ascendant, it can make a person a multi-billionaire and the most famous person in the world. And when you think, oh my God, this Rahu with all these planets and is going to do this, this person is almost homeless. This is why you will see with Rahu and Ketu in the Ascendant, most people, when they suddenly want to make a prediction, they fail. And you know what the thing is? And this is after Rahu, for me especially, my predictions over Rahu and Ketu improved vastly. You know why? You know when? When I made the movie on Rahu and Ketu. It's like it is said, like when you start appreciating and do something for the planet, they start to get pleased with you and start to reveal something. This is why, oh my God, I forgot the name of this great astrologer who has been on my channel as well. He writes poetry. Oh my God, what's his name? It's been so long. Well, he's been here. He writes poetry on planets. That's what he has been doing. That's why he's such a brilliant astrologer. So when you appreciate a planet outside of, hey, show me how to make predictions, show me how to do this. When you say do something for them, that's when Rahu, Ketu will reveal themselves. It's like you write a love letter to Rahu. I'm not saying you should do this as a regular viewer. I'm only saying as an astrologer. You want to understand these two grahas? Do something for them. I made their movies. Interview of Rahu and Meeting Ketu. Hopefully you watched that. And my next love letter is to Shani. And that's why it took long. Remember, it took so long. I wanted to make this movie back in 2022, 2023. Now it's 2024, going on 2025. Shani definitely told me to make time, and I have literally 4 stories of which one I wanted to make. Finally, I've now settled on which I really want to make. So you'll see that appreciation to Sunny. So for me to say anything about Rahu, Ketu, and this will happen with the Ascendant, it can be completely off. That's why I don't want to really go into that discussion of Rahu and the Ascendant will do this or will do that. It's like when I'm seeing a chart, my own teacher just said this to me in the last 2-3 days. It's like you have psychic abilities. He gave me a couple of charts just to say something. And without looking at nakshatras, divisional charts, something, and I said a bunch of things. And this has happened before too. So they're like, yeah, you've got some ability. Maybe, of course. I mean, I am Ketu ruled individual, so I don't know. But for me, after the appreciation of Rahu and Ketu, I began to see what exactly they're doing. They gave me a little bit of access to them. Otherwise, if somebody says in their video, oh, this is what Rahu is and this is what we'll do in this house, this is what, they don't know anything about Rahu. They're just trying to do something for views and likes and to make themselves look like a brilliant astrologer. But if somebody who truly knows Rahu and Ketu, they will say, I don't know Rahu and Ketu. Unless they try to reveal themselves to me and they want to give me some access to their world, great. Otherwise, okay, fine. I'm not qualified. That is the prediction of Rahu and Ketu. Okay. So anyway, guys, this was my video. And remember, a lot of people who are wanting to do the remedies and remedy this, remedy that. Remember, you know what the best remedy is in life? This, your wristwatch. And that's why I made this course of wristwatch and wealth. I mean, every day I get these emails. I mean, I'll make my miscellaneous folder in my course so long if I was to put all these examples of, you know, what people have gone through with clocks and wristwatches. So you will see after that, most remedies you may not have to do, which is of course on Maga Vedic Astrology Academy in the link. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.